to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake again.
Welcome to Dinner with the Coaches. I am your author and host, Nadira Lewis, and I have my amazing co-host right here next to me.
Let's get it. Good evening.
On?
Fire, shut up in my bones, boy. Fire.
We always have amazing conversations before the broadcast, and I can't wait for the opportunity for us to be able to share, some of those conversations, because it is amazing the revelation that God has given you regarding your vision, and I cannot wait.
It's going to be awesome.
As you are the chief visionary coach, and I so am blessed to be connected with you and your lovely wife and your family. You guys are amazing. I'm telling you, hey,
Appreciate it.
If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. So that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us in the Dinner with the Coaches group, hey, welcome. We love to see you here on the broadcast with us. So make sure you send us a message if you want to be featured on the Dinner with the Coaches broadcast. If you are watching us on Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, make sure you hit like and share if you are blessed by the content that Thomas and I bring each and every Sunday. Thank you. Also, I want to let you know that you can support Thomas and I by sending us stars to help us make money. It helps us to create more content. So make sure you send us some stars and let us know how much you appreciate the value that we bring each and every Sunday. So
awesome.
Thomas, what is going on? We have an amazing broadcast lined up for you today, and I cannot wait to go through it. But before we do that, we're going to play this quick video, and when we get back, we'll go ahead in today's topic. The topic that we're going to talk about today is strategies for overcoming, right? Hold on, let me get the title up because I don't want to mess it up. Our strategies for saving time while accomplishing your goals. Make sure you go get your coffee, get your tea, coffee, call up another business partner, anybody that you know, and tell them that Dinner with the Coaches is on the air, and we'll be right back after this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you that watch us. We'll be right back after this.
I want you to remember that God's created everything you see. He breathed it into existence. You remember when his people were caught up in slavery? He rescued them. What he did was he parted the sea, and he made a way for them, and then he delivered their enemies to them, and he unlocks wombs, and he provides water from a rock, and he provides manna from heaven, and he brought down the walls of Jericho. He froze the sun, allowing victory. He's toppled giants with tiny stones. He's brought fire from heaven. He's shut the mouths of lions. He preserved life in the belly of a well. He's fed thousands with a few loaves. He gives the weak strength. He heals the sick. He's made the blind see, the deaf hear, the mute speak, the lame walk, and he's overcome evil, and he's made a way through death for you and me by the death and the resurrection of his son, Jesus Christ, that we will live with him forever. We will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever and ever and ever. What are we afraid of? His resume is flawless. He controls everything. And he loves you.
And we are back here with Dinner with the Coaches with me and my amazing co-host, Thomas Taylor III, visionary coach of TaylorYourDreams.com. We are back talking about today's topic, strategies for saving time while accomplishing your goals. Thomas?
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well out there. You know, we had a pre-call that was pretty amazing. We was on fire backstage. But you know, we're still in the first quarter, right? Still, you know, got a couple of days left in March. We kind of like in the middle of March. So you kind of really want to talk about, like, you know, when you set goals or when you set things in your mind that you want to accomplish for the year, like, how do you keep yourself on track, right? Like, how do you create and checks and balances, you know, to make sure that you're accomplishing those things kind of in a timely manner, right? So when you look at, you know, corporate America, right? Even network marketing, right? Typically things are done in quarters, right? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Well, you know, network marketing, you know, they always have like a 90-day blitz. Those are quarters, right? 90-day blitz, right? You know, those things, you know, kind of keep us on track, right? So some things, you know, we talk about prioritizing your goals, right? That's really, really, really important. Like you have up here, identifying what's most important and then focusing some time and effort in achieving those things, right? So when you do those things, along with actually having an accountability partner. Why? Why is that important? That's significant. That's significant because sometimes we'll tap out on ourselves before we'll tap out on somebody who's holding us accountable, right? So I have accountability partner and a coach, and my partner, Mr. Alpine. You know, he's my fitness guy, my nutritional guy, and my workout partner. So we've been working out 5 a.m, probably for like the last almost a year. We're in March, like in a month or so, it'll be a year that we've been going straight, minimum, you know, 3 days, 4 days a week, 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, when my phone rings at 4:15 in the morning, and when I answer it, I don't feel like going to the gym every day, you guys. I just don't, right? But because I know that cat is gonna call me, hey, what you look like? Hey, I'm good. Like, I know he's expecting me to be there, right? So instead of, you know, just kind of, hey, tapping out on him, it's a little bit more difficult. Now me, hey man, I just roll over, get me a couple more hours of sleep, man. I'll be okay with that. But because I have somebody else relying on me to be present based upon me stating that I'm going to show up, it's a driver and it holds me accountable. So now, not only can he reach his goals, but I can reach my goals as well. Nadira?
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing to realize is that when you identify, sometimes when we're creating goals, you always hear you gotta write goals, you gotta create goals, you gotta have goals. But the reality is that you have to identify what goals are the most important, right? And then focus your energy into making sure that you achieve them first. Right. Because you can have a list of things that you desire to do in your business or in your personal life and say, I want to get all this done. And we get overwhelmed because we want to get it all done all at the same time and not realizing that you can't do everything at one time. You have to prioritize, you know, what's important first. I had a young lady that I've known since she was a younger girl. She's a new mom. And I saw her put on Facebook, how do you manage? I'm a new mom. You know, I'm a full-time student. I work a 9 to 5, and I also have different hobbies. And how am I going to juggle all of this? And I said to her is that you have to build your life because your first priority is your mom. So you have to build your life around motherhood. And most people might disagree with me and say, no, I think you should build your life around your job first because you have to provide for your kids. The problem with that is when you build your life around your job or your business first, then what happens is that becomes your first priority. And then you put what's most important, because once you become a parent, that is first priority, because that child cannot live or breathe without your support. So you have to learn how to prioritize what is your most important goals. And then after you identify that, then what you have to do is you have to create a schedule, right? You have to develop a daily or weekly schedule that outlines the tasks and activities that you want to do, right? You can't just, everybody can blurt out, I want to do this and I want to do that. But what do you how are, what are some of the weekly and daily schedules that you're using to outline it? Thomas?
Yeah, that's definitely important. Yeah, I had down here a calendar as well, because like today's Sunday, right? Like we all should be writing out, okay, what does your week look like? Right? What does your Monday look like? What does your Wednesday look like? Right? Because when you do those particular things, it saves time on accomplishing them, right? So for instance, going back to the gym again, right? So when we get into the gym tomorrow morning at 5:00, we already know what we're gonna do because it's already scheduled. Like our workout is, we're not getting in there trying to determine what we should do. Right. It's the same thing with tomorrow, right? When Monday comes, that's not when you should be thinking about what you need to do. Right. We should be scheduling and prioritizing, what does my Monday look like?
Right.
Right. That's why in that book that sometimes, we read with 66 chapters, somewhere in Habakkuk 2:2, it talks about writing down the vision. Like, why is that significant? Right. If you want these things to happen in your life, if you want to accomplish these particular things, just try it. Just write it down, right? Because once you start to write these things down, things start to change for you, right? It stops moving. And what I mean by that is, right, movement is just in talking and vibration. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's moving, right? It's back and forth. Well, when you write it down, it stops moving.
Oh, that's good.
Becomes stationary now, right? And in order for it to become law, it has to be written. It has to be written.
That's good. I like that movement analogy, because the reality is it's the same thing with our thoughts. We have things, our mind is constantly going with all kind of thoughts in our head. And until you say something out of your mouth, that's the only way you intercept the thought. That's your mind from going, especially if you get so used to being busy. You have to do what's number 3 is eliminating distractions. You have to minimize the distractions, right? That are by turning off notifications on your phones, avoiding social media during work hours, and creating a quiet workplace. And that's so important, because social media has made it so easy for us to literally scroll while we're at work, to the point to where we're more committed to checking our Facebook account than we are doing doing what we're supposed to do at work, because social media has made it so easy. I had to get on my daughter today because even though she has her own cell phone, I realized that it was becoming a distraction. What was meant to be there to support, helping keep things in order, was becoming a distraction, because not minimizing the time frame. So I really started to minimize. Okay, now you're not going to be on your phone 7 days a week from the time you get off the phone to the time you go to bed. No, we're going to create some boundaries. And so you're going to be on here because we have to eliminate the distractions, because let me tell you what distractions do to you. It hinders your focus, right? And it also delays progress. It delays progress, because when you're so busy, when you got all these things going on and they're not really producing any results in your life, then it becomes, it creates like a clutter in your brain. And now you got a whole bunch of stuff. You ever see people, they like they got rabbits jumping up inside. They just rabbits jumping all over them, because they can't focus, because they have not taken the time to eliminate the distractions and create a environment where you can work, think, because we don't do that no more. We don't think no more, the thinking is like a foreign word now, but you have to be able to create a space so that you can be able to slow down and the way and be able to take that pen and take all those words and things that's going on in your head in motion so you can slow down and be able to work.
Yeah, and that's very, very significant, and I know we typically get deep on the second half of the show, but I think this is a perfect time to get just for one level deeper. And right there on number 3, eliminate distractions, because there's also mental distractions.
Mm,
They're not always physical, right? There's not
right.
always a cell phone or something in front of you, right? So there's mental distractions
Mm-hmm.
around past trauma,
Ooh. Ooh, that's good.
right?
That's
Because what
good.
happens is and I said this to one of my clients the other day, I said, and he was driving. I said, just think about it. You're driving right now. I said, and what are you looking at? He said, the windshield. I said, so
Mm,
now just think about this. If you're driving
mm,
in one direction, but you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror to get to your
mm.
destination. He said,
Wow.
ooh. I said, now how is that going to happen? How are you going to get to your destination moving in the forward direction, always looking in the past? Now,
Mm,
I'm not saying the rearview mirror is not significant, but the rearview mirror is something that we utilize to check our surroundings.
mm.
See, versus constantly pressing play based upon what happens. So now your direction changes. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you facing forward and driving forward, you're actually going in reverse.
Oh, wow. And sometimes, and that's
Because
the thing, you don't even really know because you don't really know. I think I heard Pastor Jensen Franklin say this one time. He said you don't even know that you're not even walking straight until you actually see yourself outside of yourself. You think you're walking straight and you realize you're walking sideways. I was like, whoa.
yeah. And it's true, because what happens to us, because sometimes we don't go get the necessary help, is we constantly press play on
Mhm.
things that happened to us in the past.
Yeah.
So now here it is. You have it's a brand new year. You excited, a little motivated. You got some things going on, right? And then boom, you start out the new year right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And then things kind of slow down a little for you, and you wind up pressing play.
Wow.
And now you start to relive those things that happened to you. And now instead of constantly putting your foot on the gas, you start to
Mhm.
draw back a little bit,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And then all of a sudden, hey, Nadira, how's it going? It's okay. Well, how's your goals going? I'm a little bit busy. I'm working. You hear it. You hear those excuses later, Joe. You see how she start laughing? Yeah, I'm working. I'm busy. My mom just called me. I got to take care of my moms. I got to take care of my daughters. I got to take care of my house. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's how it happens. That's how it happens.
Yep. And sometimes distractions can be good distractions too. All distractions aren't bad distractions. We think that, we talked about physical distractions, we talk about mental distractions, but there's some good distractions too. You have some good distractions that come. And even though that it's a good thing, it may not be the best. Is it the best thing in the moment, in the time frame? When we're talking
Mhm.
about time management round, we're talking about how to accomplish your goals, right? With different strategies. Think about all the things. You got a lot of stuff. You notice that you're on a goal. You're set to be at a certain place, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. But then you got a whole bunch of good things that's coming up, good things that are in your way that are preventing the progress. And good distractions are not necessarily bad. They just prevent progress, which means they come to distract you. They come to set you off course. You're supposed to be here by a certain time based on your goals, and based on the strategies that you have to set that goal. Right. I'll use like trading, for instance. You, like me, I trade, also. And so if I'm trading and I know that the best time to trade is between 4 o'clock to 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I realize that I'm distracted because I'm get up early, and if I'm on TikTok, it's a good thing. TikTok is a good thing. Or if I'm up watching the news, watching TV, doing everything else I've created. Not that those things are necessarily bad. It's just that it is preventing progress. And now I might have to trade outside of the areas that are best, right, for what I'm trying to trade. And now it doesn't mean that I won't have any progress, but it slowed or delayed my progress for that day, which means I could have been done trading early and went on with my schedule, what I needed to do for that day. But no, I've allowed good distractions, things to happen. You get sideswiped, watching TV, doing all kinds of stuff. So you got your physical distractions, you got your mental distractions, and you got good distractions. So you have to make sure that you are prioritizing what needs to be done. And Sundays are, if you don't have to work on Sundays, I think are a great day to plan out what you're going to do for the week. If you're a content creator, plan out your content for the week if you can, where you can, that way you can have things where you can show consistency. Because if you're making money as a content creator, the thing about making money with content is you have to be consistent. And consistency, I noticed, and I talked to you about this earlier, Thomas, in an earlier previous conversation, and even as a content creator, when you're just posting every once in a while and you're just doing this and this and that, you might get a few hundred people that may view your content. But when you are consistent with it, you will see a significance. I went from a few hundred views to no less than 5,000 views for my reels. And when you start getting, and it's becoming consistent 5,000 views on my videos, is because I'm eliminating these distractions. I realize I'm not creating this content just because. Content creation is one of my income sources. So in order to be able to, if I don't create the content, it interferes with my income, with one of my income sources. So good distractions are just as bad as mental and physical distraction. Number 4. But before we go into number 4, I wanted us to take a quick break so that we can and let's just digest the first half of what we talked about. We already talked about the number 1. We talked about prioritizing your goals, identifying what's the most important. And we talked about creating a schedule, developing a weekly or daily schedule that outlines your tasks so you're not overwhelmed. And then we talked about, last but not least, eliminating distractions. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and give you a chance to absorb and internalize some of the information that we gave you. We don't want to just information dump on you, but we want to give you a chance to reflect and give those that haven't had a chance to access the broadcast. Make sure that you go ahead and get yourself situated and come back, and we'll be right back. And we're going to continue this conversation on strategies to helping you accomplish your goals and whether it's in your business or your personal life. We'll be right back after this. I did a broadcast a couple of months ago, and I was saying how if you don't operate in your season, you're useless. So, and I gave the example of the fig tree, right? And I said that how Jesus cursed the fig tree because it was time. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.
I've done some terrible things in my life.
Some of them I chose to do.
And I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
really need some help. May not be physically with you,
They're in your church.
but I am sitting next to you.
Different face.
Different name.
Same story, though, that goes like this.
I've done some terrible things in my life,
Some of them I chose to do.
and I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series.
Been a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really
Really.
Need some help.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor III, CEO of TaylorYourDreams.com. I actually help individuals expand their vision past their current reality so they can live the life that they dreamed of. If that's you, you can reach out, you can hit me up, and actually have a free consultation. But until then, go ahead and make it a great day.
Hi, I'm Nadira, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy, and also the founder of the Sisterhood Check-In podcast. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons for others. Book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side. Have an amazing day. And we are back here with Dinner with the Coaches with my amazing co-host, Thomas Taylor III. And if you are watching us for the first time in the past 30 minutes, make sure you go back and watch the replay. We gave out some amazing information on how to develop strategies, right? To be able to accomplish your goals and your dreams, right? And we talked about it again. We said number one, to prioritize your goals, right? Identify what's more important, create a schedule, to develop a daily, a weekly schedule, whatever it is. You just develop a schedule to outline your tasks so you're not all over the place. Eliminating distractions, whether it's physical, mental, and good distractions. So we're going to go ahead and continue with number 4, which is delegating tasks.
Okay. Yeah.
Delegating tasks, identifying tasks that can be delegated to others, right? And delegate them so you can free up your time to focus on tasks that you can do. And this is good. And, especially when we have a vision, Thomas, sometimes it's hard to let our babies go.
Yeah.
We don't want to let anybody, we don't want to hire people to do what you're not skilled at. You get the most benefit when you hire other people to do work that you delegate, get the baby out of your hand so that other people, because in the beginning, it may be like that. In the beginning, you might find yourself just doing it by yourself, doing everything, your marketing, your planning. You might be doing everything, but there's going to come a point if you want to increase your reach, you've got to delegate to others in the areas of their expertise so that you can free up your time to focus on the tasks that you can do.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sometimes a lot of those challenges are wrapped around trust, right? Unfortunately,
Right, absolutely.
sometimes we have large trust issues. So because we don't trust, we don't want to release those things to other people's hands. That's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? So
and that's understandable because you want to make sure that you're connecting with the right people. But once you identify, once you've done your due diligence in connecting with people and finding out their areas of expertise and finding out what work, their track record, finding out the work that they've done. If you know that somebody is skilled if you know that you want to take your marketing to another level and you want to reach people and you are not really sure how to do that, you only know how to do the little bit that you know how to do. But in order for you to reach more or masses of people, you've got to connect with other people in order to make that happen. And if you don't do that, then you're limiting yourself, because not only do you benefit from the connection, they benefit from you also. So you've got to be able to delegate tasks. Technology. Ooh, this is a big one.
Yeah, we could sit here.
Technology is huge. You have to take advantage of technology to streamline tasks to save time. There are so many apps, Thomas, that
Yeah.
help you. I see, I don't know about you, but when I'm on my Facebook, I see all kinds of Facebook um videos on how to do this or how to do that. You want to do this? Just click on this. The information, we're in the information industry where information is the new currency.
Yeah, overload.
Information is the new currency. So you definitely want to take advantage. Spend the money. You have to invest in most of the technologies offer free trials for 30 days. If you're not able to invest in your business to be able to get the results that you're looking for, then you might want to just, then you might want to just stay where you are until you get and just work within your time frame. Just know you're not going to really be able to reach as many people as you desire until you understand the importance of setting aside resources to take advantage of technology, right? Because technology is what helps you I use technology to streamline all my videos. I have invested thousands of dollars into not into equipment, into software, into apps. When you look at everything combined, education, I did a video on how to do a video that create content that makes your video pop. Take the course, go to my course, Women of Proverbs Coaching.com, and learn how to use technology to your benefit and learn how to use these softwares so that you can be able to reach more people, because because people are visual. You're not able to get your message across no more the regular way anymore. People are just not, their attention span is like anywhere, I think it was like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So it may be less than that, so you have us, which is why these reels and stories are only certain amount of seconds because of the attention span. Reels is, I believe, 15 or 26 seconds to be able to get your message across. So you have to learn how to say what you have to say shorter to a lot more people in a creative way. And color tells everything. When you use technology, colors have emotion. It has an emotional tie to it. When you put up certain colors, it gets people excited, makes them feel warm, anxious. It's important for you to really invest in what you need to be able to make yourself visible so that people can see what you're offering and see the benefits of what you're offering. Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's key. We kind of talked about that the other day with all of these different artificial, the AI,
Mhm.
right? All of this AI that's coming out, Chat GPT and Jasper and all these other ones where, when we talk about saving time, again, something that usually takes, hours to do in days, you could do, in seconds and in minutes, right? So, I mean, the technology is every day that technology is getting more and more advanced, more and more advanced, right? You
Absolutely.
know, to get the job done that you say you want to get done, right? So first, again, when we kind of break it all the way down, like you really have to understand where you're going, right? What are your gifts? What are your skills? What are the goals? Like, what's the target,
Mhm.
right? And then you can fill in the blanks with all these additional tools and methodologies to get there. But ladies and gentlemen, first you got to know where you're going, right?
Mm.
That's the most important thing. And I think that's an area where a lot of
Yes.
people kind of stay in the garage. They just stay stuck because they're not so sure
Mhm.
where or what lane they
Mhm.
should be in, right?
Right.
So if you talk about time, I think that's where most of the time should be spent
Mhm.
on the front end, because once you get that down pat, the rest of it you could fill in the blanks, right? So when you get up in the morning and you got somewhere to go, you don't leave your house if you don't know where you're going.
Mm.
And if you know where you're supposed to be
Mm.
but don't know how to get there,
Wow.
you use maps. You use Google Maps or some sort of technology that's
Mhm.
going to help create the directions, the turns
Mhm.
to get there. right? But you knew two things in that equation. You knew the time that you had to be there, and you knew where you had to be. You may not know the middle, right?
Yeah.
But you will figure the middle out along the way.
Right.
Don't let not knowing the middle stop you from going, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. And it's crazy because sometimes you don't know all the things that you need to do. Most of the time, some of us don't move until we have all the answers. The reality is, if I had to wait to move before I got all of the answers, or wait till I got it perfect. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen some of the things I've done in the beginning, and it was just, I go back and look and I'm like, wow, that was definitely, I have definitely changed. And I noticed the difference of being able to invest and using technology to streamline different tasks and make it easier. Now, where I might have spent all day preparing, because of technology, I can get things done, by 10, 11 o'clock, and really by like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I can pretty much take the rest of the day to do what I need to function in my personal life. And that's what you want to do. Your business should not be, you should not have to spend the entire day focusing on preparation every single day, because when you do, then when do you have time to bring balance to your life? Because part of being a part of your business is not supposed to take up 100 hours of your day. Because then what time do you have to reset? What time do you have to dedicate to your family? What time you have to dedicate to yourself, to research?
The balance.
You have to create a balance, because if you don't, and technology does that. Technology helps us in aiding us in creating a balance. And we talk about now taking breaks. Taking regular breaks to rest your mind and recharge your energy. It helps you to be more productive in the long run. Most of the time we just want to go, go, go. We figure the more we going and the more we doing, we're going to be more productive. Actually, when you take time to balance, I talked a lot recently in the past couple of weeks about slowing down and being able to slow down and being able to see where I am, see where I want to go, see where I came from. Because when you don't take that break to rest your mind, like sometimes I can be asleep and my eyes be closed, but my mind be going and going, because I'm thinking about all the things that I've done that day, all the things that I continue to do, all the things that I have to do. And I had to really get to a point where I feel like I'm in a much better place mentally, because I realized that you're never going to get it all done in one day. It's just never going to happen. And if you try to get it all in one day, then you're going to be sadly mistaken. You're going to realize, wait a minute, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And then you spend all your time trying to, you spend all your time trying to make sure you do this. And then when you get to where you want to be financially, then you got to spend all your money trying to get back to the place where you were to establish good health. So it's important to take breaks and rest your mind. Thomas?
Yeah, that's phenomenal, because what will happen is, your body will start to shut down on you, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes we think we're machines, but we're really not, right?
Ooh.
Like those breaks are important mentally and physically, right? Like they're just as important as everything else, because again, if you don't put yourself first, right? Your health is very, very important and vital along this journey, right? Because what you can also do is you can create some automation, right? Like as you start to move, you can create automation that will allow you some freed up time, right? To take particular breaks, right? Whereas, you could create automations to do some of these things that we're talking about for you, right? While you plug in and get recharged. It's necessary, right? Because we always talk about, like, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Well, we don't want you to get exhausted and tap out halfway through the race.
Right.
Because when your body says that's enough, it doesn't matter what your mind want to do.
Right.
Your body will shut down, say, hey, I warned you, I told you, right? I let you know that, hey, we needed to take a break, but you just kind of kept going. And now, shut down. completely shut down.
And reason why people can't take a break, Thomas, number one reason, because we can't say no.
No, yeah.
You have to learn how to say no to some tasks and activities that don't align with your goals and priorities. That's why it's important. We said
That's
as number
key.
one. Number one is being able to prioritize your goals. You can't prioritize your goal. You can't say no if you don't know what needs to be taken, if you don't know how to prioritize what needs to be done first, right? What is it? What act you have to learn how to say no. No, I can't commit to this today. Doesn't mean that I can't do it at a later date, but no, I can't commit to this. I cannot do this during this time because and that applies to your areas of resting, because we sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm just going to sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice. Don't sacrifice your health. There are going to be times when you're going to need to make sacrifices to get some things done, but don't make it a regular habit of constantly sacrificing your rest to accomplish a task that you can put off. I know we say don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, but some things, yes, put off. if it's going to interfere with aligning with your goals and your priority. If your priority is to get 8 hours of sleep, which I don't know anybody that's getting 8 hours nowadays, not at one time. I see people getting maybe 6, 5, 6, and maybe getting another 3 on the way throughout the day, But my priority is I know to me, when I take naps, regular naps in the daytime, because I do work from home, I do have the privilege to work from home. And I know that taking regular naps is good for me because it helps me to reset. It helps me to be able to work and work the rest of the day, and then I can say, okay, I've recharged. I woke up early. If you're waking up 4 or 5 in the morning and you're trading and you're creating content, getting the girls off to school, and then coming back, and by the time you get done, you're mentally exhausted. So now what I do is I say, okay, once I get done doing that, handling whatever I need to handle, I lay down. I get off the computer. I have to make myself get down because resting is a priority to me because Thomas, I spent a number of years in the beginning part of my adulthood life running all the time. Running from A to B, running from here to there, running in my mind all the time. And I never practiced the art of resting. I didn't even know what that sounded like. I was like, we come from a state where you don't get rest. You don't rest.
Yeah, the rest is for lazy people.
Rest is for lazy people, coming from up north, being born and raised in New Jersey. We go. We got things to do, people to see, places to go. We ain't got time for this. We got to get stuff done. We got to handle stuff and make stuff happen. And in the meantime, we're slowly deteriorating our body as we get older. And you look at some people and you be like, dang, why is it that they look a lot better in their older age than they do in their younger age? Because they are taking time to take care of themselves. And I was allowing motherhood and working 2 jobs, going to school, to actually burn me out. And I was literally feeling burnt out. And there are some times where I just couldn't get out the bed because I was just so burnt out. So to me, prioritizing one of the things that I do to align with my goals, I make sure Nadira gets her naps in, honey. I get my nap, I get up, and now I can focus the rest of the time towards anything else that I need to do for that day. So what about you, Thomas? What do you do to prioritize? What do you say no to?
Yeah, and that's really key. I know we're getting to the top of the hour. I just want to kind of go one level deeper when we say, learn to say no. And I think the hardest part of saying no is to the people that we love and care about the most.
That's so true.
See, those individuals that are quote unquote strangers to us, we tell them no in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But we can we tell our mother no? Can we tell our sister no? Can we tell our husband no? Can we tell our brother no? You see?
Wow. That's good.
See, and when we start to get that deep, because those individuals can be distractions as well. Well, just let's kind of go a little bit deeper. How do we create a framework around being able to tell those individuals no and still stay focused?
Wow.
We have to understand our why. See, when and if, ladies and gentlemen, you don't understand why you're doing something, it's going to be hard to tell the ones that's closest to you no.
Ooh, that's good.
Because their energy is going to be higher. Their frequency is going to be higher than yours to get you to do what they want you to do.
That's good. Wow.
Not what you have to do because you know you have to get this done. Because it's so easy for us when we don't really understand why we're doing something to put it off and go ahead and do whatever it is they're asking us to do.
Wow.
See, now that's the challenge, right? Can we say no to those ones that's closest to us, and which will allow us to stay focused on the job and the task at hand.
Wow, that's tough. It's hard to tell your mama no.
See?
Especially when especially in my case, I like what I do to kind of help with dealing with that with my mom is I'll tell her, hey mom, I've got a couple of things so that because I know she lost her sister, my aunt. She doesn't have her sister there to converse with her on a day-to-day. Thank you. And so what I do is I'll talk to her for a little while and then I'll say, okay, mom, I have a few things I need to take care of today. Can I call you back at this time? So I'll call her back at that time. And then now she understands, it's like, oh, okay. And then sometimes if I forget and I get caught up and I be like, darn, she'll be like, you said you was going to call me back. I'm like, oh, oops, I forgot, no pun intended, just forgot. But sometimes you do have to say no in order to, and it may not be, and no doesn't always mean never. It just means not now. Some things you can say not now. So that you can be able to accomplish what it is. And then when you get done doing that, then you can doing whatever it is that you prioritize during that time frame.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, now I can be free to do whatever it is that I need, that needs to be done or whatever it is I got to do. I have the freedom to do that. But if you don't prioritize your time, you can delay progress in a particular area of your life, and it could be frustrating.
Yeah. And that's why all these things that we're talking about, they all go together, right? The scheduling, the understanding the goals, being able to prioritize those things that we say we want to do, right? Like all of those little things are important because when you don't know those particular things, it's easy to get distracted, right? And then you could forget even what you was doing and what you were supposed to be doing because your distractions last so much longer than you anticipated, and now you may not even never get back to that, right? A day turns into a week turns into a month turns into 2 months, and then you're like, oh man, like I don't even feel like doing that no more, man. you lost all interest on something that in the top of the year you was excited and you was motivated. You was like, yeah, let's get it. You was gung ho.
Yeah.
And now we in April, man. You don't forgot what you said you was gonna do.
Which is talking about what we were talking about earlier, being at the end of the quarter. This is the end of the quarter. What are some things that you have put, as a business owner, you have to make sure that you look back in this quarter and think, what have I done to add value to my business and to the community that I'm helping? What have I done? And that could be anything as simple as adding to your knowledge base. It could be something as simple as, whether it's through technology or whether it's through coaching. What have you done in the first segment of this year to see better or anticipate better results in the second semester?
Yeah, that makes a difference because when you look at Pareto's rule, right? 80-80-20, right? It's called Pareto's principle. When you really understand that concept, and anybody you can Google it, PARETO, Pareto's principle. It's known as the 80-20 rule, right? So what does that say? Like whether it be church, work, your lodge meeting, a baby shower, a wedding, like 20% of the people are going to get 80% of the work done. Barbecues, picnics, just you can run it down, right? So now when it comes to business and when it comes to let's say just a 90-day cycle, what's going to happen is 80% of what you should have did in that first quarter is going to get done in the last 20% of the time.
Right.
It's the same things that's applicable for vacation. So
Right.
if you got a vacation that you scheduled right now for June, guess when you're going to start packing? June. You're not going to start packing in March or April.
I don't know. My mother, she goes somewhere. She packed 3-4 months ahead of time. Some people.
Most people are going to pack the last 20% of the time.
Yeah.
It could even be the night before.
Yeah.
Right. That's just the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So as we go to this last half, this last part of the quarter, right? This is where 80% of what you stated in January, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is when it's going to happen, right? Because there's something in your mind that's going to say, hey, you're not going to go into April not accomplishing the things that you set out to accomplish in the first quarter.
Wow.
You're going to get it done. And that's when you're going to get it done. You're going to get it done towards the latter part of the quarter, which is the latter part of this month, man. So that's key. That's really key.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So as you can see, we have gone over 6 to 7 different ways that you can develop strategies, right? In order to overcome, right? In order to overcome, I just took it off, to be able to overcome any challenges you might have when it comes to accomplishing your goals. And sometimes even doing that may require you having a coach. Thomas and I have a vision assessment that we have made available to those of you that may be interested. If you're interested in our vision assessment, which is an assessment planner that actually shows you everything that you need. It reveals your strengths, reveals your weaknesses, and gives you the opportunity to plan. You want to plan for your second quarter, and we want to help be a part of that. Thomas is a visionary coach, and I'm a life and business coach, and we would like to help you. So make sure you visit us on our website at www.DWTC.com so that we can help you with your vision assessment planner. So, Thomas, do you have any final words before we go ahead to commercial break?
Hey, I just want to say, during this time where, we just kind of going into daylight savings, we kind of, spring ahead, you move the hour ahead. We got to remember time, right? Like time is kind of never really on our side. So we've got to do as much as we can while we can, right? Because sometimes it's kind of easy to put things off, right? But those that are listening to us right now, we know there's some things that you say you need to do. There's some things that you even say that you want to do, right? The challenge is sometimes we just don't put ourselves on top of the leaderboard, right? We have a whole to-do list, but we don't find ourselves on that to-do list, right? So during this daylight savings time where we sprung ahead, right? For time wise, take some time to put yourself on your list, right? Take some time to do the things for you. Why? That's very important, because what will happen, ladies and gentlemen, is when you complete your to-do list and you check off all of those things for so many other people, you'll still feel an emptiness inside. Your unction, like your spirit, man, will still be empty, but your list will be complete.
Wow.
When we don't put ourselves on our list, we could do so many other things for so many other people and still feel alone in a crowded room.
Wow.
So there's something inside of you that you're supposed to do, but you're allowing your list to take priority over you.
Right.
I just ask you today, daylight savings time, tomorrow, just put you on top of the list. Whatever it is, just put you on there to check your name off first. Appreciate your time.
And also, I know we didn't mention it, but I think it's also important who you connect with. Has a lot to do with being able to strategize, towards, is this, are the people in your life or around you in your circle, are they helping you push you towards your goal? Or are they hindering you? Sometimes we don't want to let people go if they're not in alignment with the will of God for our life. Then what happens is we don't realize is they become good distractions, sometimes bad distractions. And I'm in a season of my life where I'm asking God, you know what, make sure I want all my connections to be purpose connections. I want people in my life, and purpose connection doesn't necessarily have to be people of a certain caliber or not. It's just that, am I adding to their life or are they adding to my life? Not everybody whose life you add to are able to add to your life. And you got to be able to understand that. You have to understand the value you bring. And sometimes, in order to understand the value that you bring into any type of relationship or friendship, you have to be able to know what's on the inside of you. And so that quiet time, that time to take to establish and dig deep and go into discovery zone and find out, what is it about you? What are some things that God has placed on the inside of me that I need to dig out and find and discover, so that I can be able to know what value did I bring to a business? What value do you bring to a community? What value do you bring to a relationship, a friendship? What value are you bringing to your community? You have to be able to know that. And I think when you use these strategies that we share with you, it'll help, I believe, eliminate stress, unnecessary stress and unnecessary discouragement, self-afflicted frustration.
Yeah, 100%.
Once you're able to identify areas of your life, understand the value that God has for you, and then know how to apply it in your day-to-day life, will help you in those other areas that we talked about when it comes to strategizing to save time while you're accomplishing your goals. Number 7, eliminate unnecessary connections. If they're not adding to your life and they're not there for you to add value to their life, it could be in the category of one of the distractions, good or bad. So thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you that take the time to watch us here on Dinner with the Coaches on Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and all the other social media live platforms. We don't take for granted that for those of you that watch us either on a replay or watch us live, we appreciate all of your support. Again, you can always support Thomas and I by sending us stars to help us to be able to earn money while we're creating content. We appreciate you not necessarily putting a star in the comment, but by actually sending us stars. If you're on your phone or on your computer, it does tell you how to send us stars. So we do appreciate that. If you currently have a business and you want to be a guest here on the Dinner with the Coaches website, make sure on the Dinner with the Coaches broadcast, make sure you send Thomas and I a message. You can send us a message at the @handle Dinner with the Coaches, or you can reach out to Thomas and I on our personal pages and let us know what business you're in and where, and if you need coaching. If you already have a business or you're desiring a business and you need coaching, Thomas is a visionary coach, an excellent business, an excellent visionary coach. You can also visit him at tailoryourdreams.com. www.tailoryourdreams.com. And we're going to be believing God for Thomas to hurry up and write this book. Hurry up and write this book, because I'm telling you, the things that God has invested in him in this book, you guys have not seen the best yet. The best is yet to come. And I've also created a 2023 planner and prayer journal. So if you and it's an opportunity for you to plan your day with God. Many times we get up and we start our day doing 100 other things, and this planner actually helps you to do both. Helps you to be able to spend time with God while you're writing out your thoughts and your plans. Because let's face it, Many of the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail. So if you are a woman or a man of purpose and you want to be able to plan your day with God, purchase the 2023 Wisdom Planner and Prayer Journal. You can go to my website, www.womanofproverbs.com, to be able to purchase your copy today. Thank you all for so much watching. Again, we appreciate you so much. We'll see you next week.
May not be physically with you,
They're in your church.
but I am sitting next to you.
Different face.
Different name.
Same story, though, that goes like this.
I've done some terrible things in my life,
Some of them I chose to do.
and I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series.
Been a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really,
Really.
Really need some help.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor III, CEO of TaylorYourDreams.com. I actually help individuals expand their vision past their current reality so they can live the life that they dreamed of. If that's you, you can reach out, you can hit me up, and actually have a free consultation. But until then, go ahead and make it a great day.
Hi, I'm Nadira, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy, and also the founder of the Sisterhood Check-In podcast. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons for others. Book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side.